everyone. I just wanted to make a video real quick and have a discussion on why I think the WuWa ecosystem is terrible. So I play WuWa, and as I've been playing, I've been thinking to myself, why does gearing in this game feel so much more worse and much more annoying for me compared to the other gacha games that I play, which are namely Genshin and Zenless Zone Zero, right? So, oh, sorry, Changli. These are all, three games that are action-based gacha RPGs, but for some reason in particular, I find WuWa's ecosystem to be way significantly worse than the artifact system in Genshin or the disk drive system in Zenless Zone Zero, and I want to have a conversation about that, right? So the obvious answer is that echoes have a whole more substat variation bullshit than the other two, but I think that's a conversation that I might save for a different video, because that can get into like very mathy, in-depth conversation. But I'm here to talk about something else. Instead, what I've realized what makes the gearing system in Wuthering Waves so much worse is actually the UI and the number of clicks it takes to level an echo compared to artifacts or drive disks. And a lot of that is because of tuners. Yes, I hate tuners in this game, but it's not because of the reason of, oh, it's another resource that you have to juggle. I hate them because they make me need to use more clicks to level shit, and it's really annoying. All right, so let's go over kind of like the basic, flow of how stuff goes. So in these games, right? Let's say I want to consider building some pieces for what's her face, Lupa, who's coming up in a little bit, right? So let's say in these games, you have a piece. And what you might do is you want to level up that piece a little bit. So what I usually do is I level it up to 15 over here, so I can review it, so I can view some substats. I level it up to here, and then we see how this rolls, and it rolled to absolute garbage as expected. And what happens is when a piece rolls into garbage, what you can say is, hey, I want to use the Echo EXP from this piece and use it to roll another piece, right? So this is something very similar done in Genshin, not so much in Zone Zero, but whatever. So through the power of editing and video magic, I'm going to go ahead and roll a artifact in Genshin using the same kind of thing. Alright, so here we are in Genshin. In Genshin, sometimes artifacts will only have in Genshin, artifacts can have up to 4 substats, but sometimes will only have 3 substats revealed when you initially get them, so you want to level them to +4 to reveal that 4th substat. So let's go ahead and see how many clicks it takes to do that. So first click, we're going to open the selection menu. Very normal, and we'll do 1 click for filtering. Reversing the filtering, and then all we have to do is just pick any old random piece of garbage artifact that we leveled prior to this that didn't work out well. We go ahead and hit enhance. Gives us a pop-up saying that we're using enhanced high rarity items. Sure, whatever. Boom, bam, and there we go. Our 4th substat is revealed to us right there. Right. So how many clicks was that? That was one click to open this menu, 1 click to select the thing, 1 click to hit enhance, 1 click to hit OK. So that's like, what, 4, maybe 5 clicks if you count the reversing the filtering, right? So there we go. Nice, fast, quick, simple, easy. All right, welcome back. So now that we have, taken a moment to look at the process of what using a poorly rolled piece of gear to level another piece of gear in Genshin looks like, let's try and do the exact same thing over here in Wuthering Waves, right? So here we have our piece of garbage gear. I'm going to go ahead and select the next piece of gear that I want to try leveling, and we're going to see how many clicks it takes. All right, so let's go ahead and count. So the first click that we're going to do is, we're going to start from here. 1 click to open the selection menu. Fair? All right, let's go ahead and scroll down and select the garbage piece that we have over here. That's 1 click right there, and oh, what do you notice? Well, this piece is +15, but this piece only goes up to 13. Now, the reason for that is because echoes in this game do not provide any EXP on their own. You need to supplement them with these tubes right over here. So if you have a +15 piece and you roll it into another one, it's not going to reach +15. You have to spend some more cost right there. So far what have we done? We've had 1 click to open the selection menu, 1 click to select the poor piece that I don't want. We have I'll just say it's a 3rd click to add these tubes, right? So we're at 3 tubes. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and hit upgrade. Well, the game tells us, hey, we're including high rarity and upgrade materials. Do you wish to continue to upgrade? That's fair. It's reasonable. Just double checking to make sure that you want to do this. Okay, so that's, I think we're at 4 clicks right now. Let's go ahead and hit confirm. Instead of just doing it, it tells us, hey, we're going to be refunding you these tuners. Why wasn't this information just combined in a single click on the previous one? I don't know. But, okay, sure. So that's an extra click. That's completely extraneous that I didn't need. So let's go ahead and hit confirm, and it tells us the results of the upgrading. and it takes us an extra click to move off of this menu. This menu is completely worthless. I can see the results of the upgrade back here. Like, I know that 3 substats were unlocked, or have been, we got to this point, right? I don't need another click to dismiss this menu. And then I don't need another click telling me that I got these materials refunded when you've already told me prior to this that they've been refunded. So either these 2 clicks, again, could be combined into one, or we could just get rid of one entirely. Right, so we have to do another click to get rid of that. Next, we have to actually reveal these pieces, these substats, right? This is what tuners are for. They just add more panes. Yeah, so that's 1 click to move to the tuning submenu, and let's say another click to move this from left to right to say, like, hey, I want to tune all my substats, and then we have another click to hit tune, and then finally after all that, and finally we've done that, then we're at the same place as we were before in Genshin, where Genshin only took like 4 or 5 clicks. This takes like 11, at least according to my account, right? So each step along the way provides additional friction that makes life harder. There's no reason for this to be here. I hate it. So all of this is to say that all of these extra clicks, they don't have to be here. Just give us an option to automatically tune and reveal all the substats that we have after we level an Echo. Like, there is no conceivable universe where anyone would ever want to keep a substat hidden after leveling an Echo. There just isn't. So just make it an option to have things auto-tune themselves. Like, it's silly. While I'm on this topic, and it might sound like I'm just being super nitpicky and really annoying, but this kind of friction builds up over time, especially when you have to roll, hundreds of pieces to get a decent piece that's usable, right? So the less friction that you have, the easier the process is, the less it's going to wear away at you. Sorry, a bit of a tongue twister there. All right, so while we're here, there is another thing that I wanted to talk about, which is another failure on Wuthering Waves' UI, right? So recently, this game released a thing called a modifier over here. It's used to modify the main stat of an unenhanced 5-star Echo, which is, admittedly, fairly useful, right? If you have a garbage artifact that rolled a undesirable substat, main stat, sorry, you can now use this to change this into something that you can now roll. The issue is the difficulty and friction that exists when trying to use it. So again, how am I supposed to use this? Well, you have to go into the data bank, and from the data bank, you have to press this over here. Okay, it's fine. So far, so good. Select the Echo to be modified. Well, the ones that I wanted to do were maybe this one right over here. So I'm going to take this Linus that has a HP main stat. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to modify it, and I can switch this from HP main stat to a crit rate, modify, bing, bang, boom, and now I have a perfectly usable Echo to roll and try and hopefully get some good rolls on, right? The issue is how much of a pain in the ass it is to get to that menu, right? So it's 1 click to get to the data bank, 1 click to move to the modification menu, 1 click to select the thing, and then you have all of the Echoes in your inventory shown to you right over here. And then you have to finally select piece. So like, I don't know, let's just make another one because chances of that one working out is like no. So we can hit modify. So that's another click. And then we have to select which substat that we want, main stat we want, crit rate, and there we go. And we can hit modify. And then finally we're done, right? Now, again, I might be over-exaggerating here, but it's really freaking annoying. Let's go over an example of how someone might want to do this more realistically, right? You might be in the character menu over here, messing with a character's echoes, right? And you might want to say, hey, I have this piece of garbage echo over here. I want to roll the main stat. Well, can I roll the main stat directly from here? No. You have to click this button down here in the bottom, which doesn't bring you to the modify menu. It brings you to the merging menu, which is that's not what I want, right? So then again, we have to click another button, go to the modify menu, and then when we select our echo, it doesn't have the echo that we were on pre-selected for us. So you have to scroll down, you have to find the echo that you want, and then go through it. And every single time that you have to do this, so like, I don't know, let's take this one. Every single time that you have to do this, you have to reselect the main set that you want, right? Whereas a normal human being using this might want to, convert 2 or 3 echoes at the same time to save time. But this game doesn't allow that to happen because the UI in here is dog shit. It's really frustrating. And I feel like these UI fixes are not difficult at all to implement, right? It's a design choice. It's not some programming choice. It should be very simple and easy to fix. So this is another thing that really bothers me about this game. I appreciate the modifier thing. It does help, and it does help make farming faster. But the convoluted way of having to use this is just such a pain in the ass, and it's really annoying, and I hate it. Okay. Finally, the last thing that I like to talk about, or like to suggest for anyone who's watched this video for so far, would be for this game to remember your echo setting. So whenever you select something, whenever you go into from your character menu into your echo menu, every single time you have to reselect whatever set you're looking at. You have to, whenever you go to your cost, you have to reselect whatever main stats that you're looking at, and you have to do this every single time. And if you leave this menu at all, even just to go to this menu, those filters reset. So if you want to say, I want to look at my crit rate, crit damage ratio, see how it looks, and check all my stuff. When you go back to here, you have to redo your filters every single time. And it's annoying as hell. So if the game could please remember what echo filters that we have for the characters that we're working on, that would be another thing that would be really great and really appreciated. I know Genshin had that feature, but they got it relatively recently, like within the past year. Just copy the good stuff from your competitors. No one's going to hate you for it, all right? It'll be great. Okay, anyways, there we go. That's me ranting about Wuthering Waves Echoes. If you want me to rant about how I think substats in Wuthering Waves are worse than those in Genshin, and definitely worse than those in Zenless Zone Zero, leave a comment or something. I don't know. But if you're still here, thanks for watching. Subscribe. There might be more gotcha content on the way. Who knows? I don't know. Whatever. Thanks for watching. Bye!